Hey, what's up, guys? Tiffany of T-Rex Talents here, and I have another makeup video for you guys. This one is another one on set of a film that I did. I know the last one I didn't do a voiceover or an intro, and I do apologize for that. Just really wanted to get it out to you guys, and I was really exhausted after being on set and everything. And it was my first on-set film for you guys, or on-set video for you guys, so I really just wanted to get it out to you guys. And I'm really trying to make my videos more on a timely schedule. I know it's not really working out, but the attempt is there. So I just wanted to get that out to you guys. This one was for a film for my buddy Brandon Jester of Jesterz Kourt Productions. It was awesome doing it. It was crazy because he called me maybe 2 or 3 days before the film started, before it went into production. So we had to be there super early. Call time was super early. It was raining. We had to do makeup out in the rain. We had to film in the rain. But it was really awesome. The actress I did makeup on was actually a friend that I met like 2 weekends ago at the Halfway to Halloween convention. So that was awesome. Her name is Beth McCaff. She is awesome. She's also a fellow makeup artist. She's a fellow haunter, and she's also a stunt woman. She basically does everything. So you guys should definitely check her out on all social medias. And just, yeah, she's really cool and really awesome. And yes, this was a kidnap victim makeup, and I had a blast with this, and yeah, it was just really cool. So without further ado, let's get into this. So let's go. Products I used were Bluebird Old Age Stipple, the cream palette from the Special Effects May Run Pro kit. I couldn't find that sold separately, so I narrowed down the colors. White, an ivory flesh skin tone, light gray. When you buy these sticks, this is called Dark 1. This shade is just called Contour. My favorite cream palette, the Narrative Cosmetics Effects palette. 99% isopropyl alcohol. Skin Illustrator Effects palette. Skin Illustrator Dark Flesh Tone palette. Skin Illustrator Bloody 2 palette. Europeanbodyart Blood in Dark Blood Tone, Witchy Blood Gel, Dirtworks Effects Dirt by Fleet Street in tone Muddy Waters, Locking Tweezers, a stainless steel spatula with a pointed end, stipple sponges with different textures, latex-free wedge sponges, the Bedelium Tools Stomper Brush, and a set of standard beauty brushes. So after cleaning her face with witch hazel, I started the makeup with a stretch and stipple technique. Most people think the stretch and stipple technique is only used for old age makeups, but that's actually not so. It's quite versatile, so that's what I did. Using the Bluebird Old Age Stipple, I had her stretch the skin under her eyes and stretch her lips, just to give her a bit of a tired eyes wrinkle and some chapped lips. Always making sure to dry between layers. Then using my Bedelium Tools Stomper brush and some setting powder, I set under her eyes and also her lips just to make sure they wouldn't stick together and also to dull some of that shine. Using a small fluffy brush, I brushed away some of the extra setting powder. After this is when color comes in. You'll notice this is a no prosthetic look. On my disposable palette, I just mixed that ivory skin tone with just a little bit of white and applied it with a basic foundation brush. And I started at the T-zone and then just worked my way down and kind of buffed it out all over and made sure I got the ears and blended down to the neck and just did everywhere. She's supposed to be sort of emaciated and dehydrated, but not dead. And as somebody who started out and for a long time did zombie characters and horror characters that were mostly dead, it was hard to find that compromise and that balance. And that was really important to stick to that balance. Another hard thing that you can probably see is, as a little person and being in a wheelchair, is that I have to constantly adjust and have her tilt her head down and stuff in order for me to reach, and my arms get very tired very quickly. However, this actress worked with me well. Now I'm using my Master Effects Green palette to mix up some colors. I'm depotting with the back of my brush. Depotting is important for sanitation, and I'm mixing on my disposable palette. So now we're moving on to the eyes, which again was difficult to keep that balance of not a zombie or a ghoul or anything like that. They just needed to be sunken in and a little bit irritated. I'm going back and forth a lot with all those grays and browns and even a little bit of a small bit of red for a bit of irritation, the smallest bit. Using the reds under the waterline and then dragging the browns and grays down the nose. I'm applying it with a flat eye brush and then I'm blending it out with a fluffy blending brush. And let me tell you, there is a lot of going back and forth between application and blending because I want to make sure that I get this right. So yeah, there's a lot of going back and forth. Now I'm going in with my Skin Illustrator alcohol palettes, and you gotta get them nice and soaked with 99% alcohol. And I'm just mixing them up and mixing up some bruise tones. One thing I do have to advise and warn about is please be careful when using these around the eyes or around the mouth. They are alcohol paints. They will burn your eyes. They are not good to put in your mouth. So if you're not really experienced and have a steady hand, please don't use them in those areas. I've been doing this a while, and even I don't like to use them in sensitive areas. However, it was raining while applying this makeup as well as raining while filming, so we needed something that was waterproof. At this moment, I'm using a wedge sponge that I actually ripped little chunks out of to give it some texture, because bruises are made out of busted, uneven capillaries, so bruises are not even, so you want to give them texture in their pattern and make them kind of uneven with their colors as well. Tapping the makeup actually helps it kind of look more like it's under the skin, especially if you have a little bit of alcohol on your finger. Kind of helps it look like it's actually sitting under the skin rather than sitting on top like it is makeup. It makes it look more natural. You'll see that I go back and forth from a sponge to a stipple brush. Sometimes I'll use the brush to kind of make it fade into the skin, or I'll just put plain alcohol on the brush to kind of take some of the makeup off, to kind of give it that splotchy look that bruises often have, and really making it look natural. Off camera, I also did a busted lip, and I didn't just apply scab blood. I used my Bloody 2 palette to apply blood and added a little bit of bruising, and I used my stipple sponges to kind of do a stippling of blood around it and a little bit of kind of a scraping texture there. So this character is going to be chained around the ankle, so I brought up that we need to do a chained bruise. It wasn't initially brought up, but I was like, hey man, this makes sense. And it was a creative input, and that's what your job is about. So after using the bruise tone, some blues, a little bit of yellows. I did some bruising, and then I used my Bloody 2 palette, and then it's me using my locking tweezers to add some of that Europeanbodyart blood, which dries but looks wet. And then I added some of that blood gel, and actually added some dark blood that I got from K&B Effects that they use on The Walking Dead. And I actually used the last one. I used my stainless steel spatula with the point to add that, so it looked like it was really digging into there. In hindsight, I would definitely do that hole mark wider because the chain was huge. Off camera, I used darkest brown from the dark flesh tone palette to add dirt. I also used Dirtworks powder in the color Muddy Waters. And here are the final pictures.